I'm going to see the Mint Master. May I enter?
Any fool could say that. What do you want from him?
I have an appointment with him.
All right. Go ahead then. But don't waste too much of his time.
Ah, eu vou ser rápido com ele. É só a gente fazer aquela chantagenzinha básica. Aí, achei ele. Caramba.
Glad to see you again.
Lugar ruim.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like.
Sim.
I need to get into the City Council Assembly. And I reckon you can help me.
The assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
Surely you wouldn't deny me a chance to meet the king?
Don't try that on me. This is connected with Ruthard, isn't it? And tell the truth.
I want to know what Sigismund tells the council. I hear it'll be important.
You want to spy? Do you know what you're risking? And what I'd be risking? Forget it.
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you'd better shape up.
All right, all right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
All right. That seems like
Da
a fair
minha
deal.
parte, ok.
You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
Who's this boy?
Franta's his name. Franta Cooldown. He's an idler and a boozer, but he's proved his worth as a waiter. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission to serve in the council. Otherwise, you won't be let inside.
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Or do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy hose?
Well, no. But I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't even show up there without it.
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today from Master Tailor Schneider. You'll almost certainly run into him there. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout. I swear that fellow practically lives at that Tin Hen.
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is Zum Eisernen Adler.
What would work on him? How can I persuade him to give me his job?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly. Now do your part.
Tá
I'll be going
bom.
then. See you at the council.
Just make sure we both come out of it alive.
Ah, os dois vão sair vivos sim. Assim eu espero. Olá rapaziada, como é que vocês estão? Sejam bem-vindos, vamos aí a mais um episódio de Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 e neste episódio a nossa nova missão é muito arriscada, se infiltrar no meio da reunião do conselho da cidade com o rei Sigsmund. A gente vai ter que fazer tudo certinho, bonitinho e ouvir tudo o que ele precisa ouvir, porque planos estão sendo tramados e muita coisa ruim pode acontecer. Ao mesmo tempo que todos os inimigos de Sigsmund estão reunidos bem num outro ponto. Muita reunião, muita trama política e também muita confusão. Só que antes de mais nada, vamos ao nosso pequeno top padrão. Pega uma vez de petisco, chama os amigos e bora se divertir. Mas antes deixa que já cagar esse coração, se não for inscrito, já aproveita e se inscreve. Bora lá.
Greetings. I'd like to...
Surely you can wait a while. I have a customer here. Here you are. The finest fabric. Intricate work. You won't find the likes anywhere else in this town.
No more than I'd expect after the amount they cost. Thanks. I'll gladly recommend you if anyone asks. And you impatient fella, what was it you wanted?
You must be Franta Cooldown.
O que eu quero?
And
Sua
who
roupa e
might
sua
you be?
permissão.
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse.
Eu imagino.
Councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
Tenho notícias importantes para o rei.
I just have to get in there, understand? I have an important message for the king about a plot against him.
But why would you want to get to him as a waiter?
But it could be that someone from the council is mixed up in it, so I have to be incognito. See?
I see. All right, then. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right. No need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you.
Você parece idiota com qualquer roupa.
Don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks.
Tá bom.
I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not.
Small, round and delicious horse
Bem, vamos para nossa Eita preula. Eita preula. Garçomzinho real. Garçomzinho real. E garçomzinho real. E os... Acho que essa bota tá bom. Sim. Chiquérrimo. Vamos agora pra... É pra aqui mesmo.
fish. Come and get some wonderful horse
Será que é aqui? Deixa eu já trocar minha roupa nova. Oi, moço, é você?
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
Ele tá
He
bêbado.
got as drunk as a lord. Totally pie-faced. Then he fell into a ditch, and now he's staggering around the streets, God knows where.
I might have expected. Once, he turned up with a hangover, and as soon as he smelt wine, he threw up all over the chapel door. I told him if that ever happened again, he was for the boot. Oh, well, you'll have to take his place for today. I've no time to find someone else. We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good. It's a good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet to run around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokaib or red monastery wine.
White or red, by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble, so the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zorjitz.
Tá, então esse Adam a gente não pode servir nada pra ele. Esse Adam a gente não pode servir nada pra ele. O vinho, como fala? O vinho com um nome esquisito branco. E o vinho do monastério vermelho. Então provavelmente alguém vai, como fala? Alguém vai pedir, a gente vai escolher um dos dois e vai entregar. É isso que tem que ficar fazendo. E ficar num cantinho. Beleza.
He's dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
Manter a
To stay in
descrição.
the background and keep quiet until someone asks me something.
Correct. The councillors have a lot to discuss, and they certainly don't need any interruptions. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Absolutely. I'm a waiter, after all. Not some street gossip monger.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just anyone can serve the King of Hungary, but you'll manage it, right?
Espera a reunião. Vamos lá.
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things
Excelente.
here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
Conselho Municipal de Kuttenberg. Manhã.
There are the pictures of wine. Hopefully I won't splash anyone's shoes.
Tá.
Should the town
You
reserve
there,
have worse
lad,
weapons than
a
any
cup of
Räuber
red,
in the
and
domain?
don't you skimp on me.
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the
I apologize,
bandits who
sir.
freed Hinnick,
Which
the
one?
Dry Devil,
Monastery
used that
Red.
thing.
Monastério. Tá.
Can you believe it? Where did they get them? What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they have...
sir.
Herrgott, it is eine Schande when outlaws have
Thank
better weapons than the city garrison. And Herr König surely knows this too.
What is it, Elvis? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is. The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing
I
down, and
fancy
you
some
want to
Tokai.
defend yourselves
Refill,
with
boy.
a few rusty halberds.
Ah, você não, você a gente não pode.
But I'm
The
not allowed.
merciful King
This is
Sigismund
unbelievable.
providing us with protection, isn't he?
Então é esse de vermelhinho.
His
Tá.
army will not be here forever.
Shut up! The
Esse
king
aqui,
can
ó.
arrive at any moment. What
Hey,
have he
waiter,
heard you?
pour me some
What
monastery
then?
wine.
We're sitting atop the biggest silver heap
desculpa.
in the kingdom, and
Which
we're
one?
supposed to defend it with
quickly.
brooms?
Tinto.
Right.
Tá.
We can always confiscate the property of the king's enemies, nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar with the yeomanly
Sir?
state of our armory. And the king is surely aware of it as
Well,
well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes...
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht.
Ah, ninguém vai mudar
I'd
a
like to
cabeça
report
dele,
to
não.
the honorable council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the
Waiter,
public
get me
bath.
white.
You mean baths or brothels?
Meu, eu não posso.
Isn't it the same
Ele tá querendo um
This is
vinho.
unbelievable.
So, the cleanliness of the city is not what it should be. The current baths in the city fall
Meirinho.
far short of covering all
Mais
citizens'
vinho?
needs.
Master Bailiff.
You're right. We do have the new bats in Hopbrink, and Adam's old ones, but I hear the Hopbrink bats are more of a pigsty.
They still are a bit, but the quality went down.
Ele não quer vinho.
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
Vou pegar o
Certainly,
cálice.
sir. I'll be right back.
Come back with it straight away, understood?
Beleza.
Should not be underestimated. Certainly. They can get
nice.
leeches there for free as well.
Whose silver might this be?
There, a man can shave and take a you-know-what.
So, did you find it?
I did, Master Bailiff. Here it is.
Not so loud. Show it here. That's it. And now go back to your job.
Nothing to do with the baths, unless the Lord wishes to punish the wickedness that's going on in there.
Keeping the city clean is important, but we don't have money to spare. Arguing about
Não tem dinheiro
who is
sobrando pra
going to
manter a
wash where
cidade
and
limpa.
how is a waste of time.
Tá cheio de cocô de cavalo, vocês não devem estar gastando nada.
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city
Hey,
isn't
waiter,
run his
pour
way.
me some monastery
At least
wine.
until His Majesty honors us with his visit.
Tá, do monastério é o... Ai, não, 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 não. O do monastério é o vermelho.
I'm not sure what you're...
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Sir?
Just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
Babak's cook. Besides, if his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like Ruthard, true, but in this case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were several dead.
Did you?
Cockeye,
That's
and a full cup.
grossly exaggerated. I don't think Ruthard will cause
I
any
apologize,
trouble.
sir.
He is sensible
Which one?
enough not to draw
Cockeye.
attention to himself.
Branco. Tá.
Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on
Aqui.
it.
Sir?
Let's move on.
Thank you, waiter. Why do I have the feeling you're not telling us the whole truth?
Are you accusing me of lying?
Strong words, my friend. Nobody said anything like that, did they?
Then why doesn't he tell us what really happened,
I'm not keeping anything from you, but there's little truth to the rumors circulating around the town. Yes, Ruthard and I had a little disagreement.
Pequeno
but we ended it
desentendimento.
quickly because his daughter wanted to get involved. I didn't want to expose the girl to any unpleasant sights.
So Ruthard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts.
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
All right. If we really don't have anything new to say, let's turn the page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. I could understand it with mercenaries, students, and other scum of all kinds, but city councillors?
Be specific, Forsooker. Are you blaming one of us?
Ah, and look who spoke
Boy,
first.
I'd like some wine.
First of all, it wasn't a duel.
I apologize, sir.
Supposed to be an
Which way?
honorable combat.
Tokai, white.
I didn't invite you.
You're still here on the council and not in the pillory.
If you want to blame somebody, you should point the finger at the youngster here.
Excuse me.
Good, sir.
Never mind.
I suspect
Don't hang around me.
As you wish, Sir Ulrich.
Be ridiculous, Forsooker.
Careful.
You act like you've never been in a
waiter.
fight yourself. And to accuse a swordsmaster without a shred of proof.
Everything in order?
We're not some
quite.
old fishwives
But
in
I
the
think you
market.
might be able to help me.
so.
Come here!
Leave it be.
Proven offences are punished by the
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now, but if you disappear for a little while...
All right.
You could rest assured
I'll get them.
the whole town
I
is
knew I
already
could
laughing.
count on you. While you're at it, count how many figures on the mural have wings.
My words exactly.
Why?
Because I'm bored, and because I told you. Get on with it.
No one scathed.
And you, a council.
Meu Deus. Quantas figuras aladas tem? Ah, você tá me zoando.
That was easy enough. And he wanted me to count the winged figures.
Never get anywhere like this.
So, let's see what you've got for me.
Aqui estão
Found your
suas
gloves,
luvas.
sir.
Really? Let's see them. And did you count those winged figures?
Sei lá,
I
24.
counted 24, sir.
And you counted correct. Good. Here you are. So you can have a bit of fun in the evening too, eh?
Nossa, ele me deu Groschen.
And in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers.
I'll have a
Right under
cup of
our
white.
noses. It's just a village with a monastery.
Tá, o branco.
Hire more craftsmen. Start with night shifts.
Haven't you noticed?
Boy, where is my white? You, lad. You look familiar to me. Have we met?
Oh, you do? Do you?
Não.
And what
I
would
really
that
couldn't
be?
say, sir.
I have a feeling I've spoken with you before, too.
So what if I would?
Or with
Hold your
someone who
horses,
looks a
gentlemen.
hell of a lot like
That
you.
space in the
Não, obrigado. Não. Pior que a gente já conversou com ele já.
insult me? Ha! I think not.
Excuse me? You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare
Tokai!
you?
And
I
a full
acquired
cup.
my seat for the services our
I
guild
apologize, sir.
provided and
Which
still
one?
provides
Are you
to the crown.
colorblind?
Well,
O cara nem
they would be
falou
defeated
qual
by
que
the bunch
é.
of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Opring.
Good, sir.
It's you? I see you've come up in the world. From a bathhouse boy to a waiter. You'll go a long way.
The guards raided and threw them all out.
It was a lot more fun in the bathhouse.
You're a merry soul, lad. I like that.
É. Ainda bem que ele não sabe quem é a gente de verdade, né?
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Vixe, é agora. Boa. Dedinho. Caraca. Meu filho, vai.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Like this man of fights!
Caraca. Que cena tenebrosa. Sério, até eu fiquei assim. Tipo, tava todo mundo tranquilo, numa boa, quieto, tipo, conversando, fazendo piada, bebendo vinho. Só foi abrir a porta que todo mundo trancou tudo que tinha, arregalou o olho, ficou com medo da porra. E assim, a primeira vez que a gente tá vendo a cara dele, porque no primeiro jogo, lá, quando apareceu ele, só apareceu o dedinho fazendo pro pessoal sair de Townber, entendeu? Só apareceu isso. Não apareceu mais nada dele. É a primeira vez que tá mostrando a cara mesmo do bicho. E caraca, o Reino trancou tudo pra não nos cagar. Caramba. Naquele momento na fortaleza de Rabash. Nossa, me doeu até com minha coluna agora aqui. Que tenso.
Come now, father. Put a little life into your dying.
Eita,
See
preula.
more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg.
and you know how that went.
Mhm.
If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine,
Ooh.
women, and song.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Você só vai assistir.
I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Encontre Brabrand. Conheça o Rabino e sua escolta. A gente tá aqui. Meu Deus. A gente tá aqui e o... Como fala? E o Henry tá aqui. Em Kuttenberg. Brabant tá aqui. A sua escolta tá ali.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Gutenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you here to arrange some trade?
We have more serious matters to attend to here than gaining a few groschen. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzig Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
Or maybe you'll get to know each other better. He should be coming here later, by the way. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone.
Ah, ele
A
conhecia
blacksmith
mesmo o
by the
Martin.
name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world.
Oi?
For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Caraca.
He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry and raised him as his own on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Kobila, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Excuse me. I'd better not drink.
Better communion wine than kosher, is it?
Ui, caramba. Perdi reputação de novo. Caramba, então ele é filho do Martin. Eita preula. Olha, não dá pra conversar.
Without a coat of arms, all he can command is a band of mangy bandits.
Cadê?
Wait for Sigismund to run out of money.
Lobster tá aqui. Brabant tá aqui.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off. How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gothenburg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
You're quite mistaken, Monsieur Baron. I have.
Ah, je suis désolé. This Bohemia is a strange land. I have seen farmhands, children, and even women fighting. But the clergy? Sainte Mère, do tell me about it. No doubt you fought on the side of truth and honor.
My last big battle was in Kosovo.
I've heard of this battle. Many great men fell there.
Aye. And it was there I decided it was nothing for me. So I settled down in the presbytery in Ujits.
Then, what are you doing here at a meeting of opponents of the crown?
Ah, the Lord moves in mysterious ways. You say you're a poet? How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a fuss to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand me.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
Sei lá, esse cara é meio esquisito. Se ele estiver espionando, eu não duvido.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Basicamente, um lado quer simplesmente manter a pressão até o cara desistir por conta própria.
Good health.
E o outro quer pressionar mais ainda, entendeu?
Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
It depends
Do que se
what it's
trata?
all about.
A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
When Sigismund sees that, he'll be off to Hungary all the sooner. At a gallop.
Exactly. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, Haman Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
What if it doesn't work?
I refuse to even consider that outcome, because it would mean slow but certain defeat for all of us.
Why me, of all people?
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You know how to talk, and you're not just out for your own good. You and your friend Henry are similar in that respect. That's why I know I can count on you both. There aren't many like you two left.
Tell me a bit more about those people, so I know who I'm dealing with.
Certainly. Who do you want to start with?
Botchek of Kunststadt. I know the name, but I can't quite place him.
That's just the thing. He's got massive estates, great influence, but he holds back. He doesn't play the big game, because he doesn't like to take risks. He always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up, not even a pair of oxen will hold him back.
Alder the Alderman. Wasn't he a Kuttenberg councillor?
He still is. The only one who retained his position after the city was taken. Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. So his days in the council are numbered. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on the guilds and the rich burghers. And that's why we need him.
Anna of Waldstein. The widow of that rich mine owner. What was his name?
Wenzel Bartosz. And I'm not surprised you forgot.
I was quite surprised to see her here. Assemblies like this are more of a...
A male affair? So far, Godwin, so far. Anna is holding back and behaving like an exemplary young widow. But don't trust appearances. She's got claws, she knows how to do her sums, and she certainly has no love lost for Sigismund.
And what use can she be to us? Apart from her late husband's money, of course.
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade. And she knows a thing or two about diplomacy. There are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz acquired most of his wealth thanks to her, and that it was thanks to her that he died, too.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Success to our plans.
Meu Deus, são 3 apoios que a gente vai ter que conseguir.
Not even Botchek?
Not even Botchek, and he's a great lord.
That's hard to believe.
Martin.
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Pah, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to arrest my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Alder.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? or just for being you?
Is that your...
Caraca.
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
You're exaggerating, like you've always done.
Me? Exaggerating? You're the one who turned my home into a house of ill repute. Your
Caramba, que velho
whores wandering
seco.
around as if they owned the place.
Oh, actually, anything fun was strictly banned under your roof. But maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe you wouldn't be such a bitter old roach.
Dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
Ah.
We've never met, and we have no cause to be enemies. Take back your challenge, and we'll sort things out peacefully.
You've got no other option. You insulted Father's honor.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for violence. I can have a word in private with Lord Odorin, the second, as he desires, and then...
Out of the question. This uncouth lout needs a lesson, and he's got plenty to learn from Christopher. By God's grace, I have at least one son I can be proud of.
Que velho seco.
You'll get nothing but shame, as always. Suit yourself, then. We'll fight. Come to the outer courtyard, but quietly. We don't have to put on a show for the crowd.
After you.
Well, that's that. Now, where were we?
Shouldn't we rather...
No, Christopher will sort it out, you'll see.
Caraca, que bicho ruim da pega.
To settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Take that!
Look at my
taught you
eyes,
that?
not at my sword.
Meu Deus.
It's a wonder you're still standing. Come on then. You're fast.
Nossa, minha esquiva não foi.
Cover your
Not bad
right
for a
side.
priest.
You've got a gap there I can drive a cart through.
That's enough. You should never have come here. You must have known you'd only upset Father.
And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
Cabeça
So Father would be
oca.
satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. And the sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days. He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
I've got to get him on our side and to cooperate with us.
Aren't we all on the same side?
Maybe everyone's saying that. But it's time to put it into action.
After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
Dá pra eu lá. Não tem como eu me lavar, não?
Greetings to you, friend. Mind where you're going.
Opa. Vem que eu tô limpo. Eu tô limpo. Caramba, mas o pai dele é um ridículo. Eu já não gostei do pai dele desde a primeira vez que eu vi. Velho ruim, seco, mal amado.
He didn't even look at it. He just told me to bugger off. Women, sure.
Cadê a criatura? Não. Tá embaixo? Ué, cadê? Opa, opa. Aqui.
Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Yobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
How can I persuade you?
I need guarantees of security. I don't want to end up like Rutard.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, ideals go out the window.
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think differently. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund.
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
Lucientine. A minha. O Capon é mais forte.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
Ele é jovem, mas não é inexperiente. Diz que não quer se casar com o velho. Tem razão. Ele não é uma boa escolha. Ele é jovem, mas não é
He may be
inexperiente.
young, but he's got something between his ears. He's got battle experience. And when he gets the estate that's his by right, he'll be well secured for life.
If he gets it, right now Hanush lords over Rattay and seems quite happy with that state of affairs. On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
I'll convey your offer to Lord Capon. If he agrees, we can celebrate our alliance.
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
Take a look at that.
Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? By Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up. How the hell did you do it?
Well, I explained to him how such an alliance could be mutually beneficial.
Mutually? What do you mean?
He's got a pretty serious personal interest in this... bond.
Stop beating around the bush and spit out what you promised him.
Lord Kunstad has a niece, so... I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstadt. Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
Cheers!
Cheers to you and to your parlaying skills.
Meu Deus, consigo o apoio de Bocek de Kunstadt. Tá. Tem que falar com ele agora, né? Opa.
Sir Bocek, your niece Yivka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed, without reservations.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kunstad.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yitka and the unhappy Lord Capon.
Here's to a good bargain.
Ai, ai, ai. Reputação obtida, conseguimos. Ué. Ah, é você.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
Hit the nail on the head again, Mom. You're well informed.
I am rarely mistaken.
I'd say you have a
Ela é
better nose for
afiada.
people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
You manage large estates. In return for your generosity, we offer you protection.
I've managed quite well up to now, taking care of my own resources. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Okay.
Harmon Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
All right,
Nem
I'll
vou
help you.
perguntar.
Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorin's groom has eyes everywhere.
Vixe, documentos falsificados da Ana. Ah, esse cara aqui.
God bless.
Aren't you a bit bored?
What's your problem? The horses are fed and watered. I'm not idle.
God forbid. But standing around here must be a pain in the arse, no? You might get thirsty.
Not really. What of it?
Shall we roll some dice? I'm sure you can take a little breather, eh?
Well, all right. But just for a little while. I'll wait at the table over there.
Desculpa, tio, mas eu não vou jogar dados com você, não. Eu só usei você.
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
My lady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words and money.
Thank you, noble lady. God will...
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain, Godwin.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
Cadê o lixo e coisa? Ah, tá aqui.
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstad will support our cause.
Both of them? Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This
Nossa, não dá pra ver o cara direito.
story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords.
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes. And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Coitado dele. A cara dele. Agora que ele tá sabendo. É. Coitado dele. É, ele não gostou não. Nem um pouco.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
É, e pensa que eles estão apoiando um bêbado boêmio só pra eles ficarem de boa. Mas é melhor do que apoiar um grosso ignorante que mata todo mundo. Meu Deus, coitado do Capon. Vai ter que se livrar dessa. Como? Usa a imaginação. Depois da guerra foge. Inventa qualquer coisa. Voltamos pro Henry.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wencesla's side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylanders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants. Chicken shits. Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore placed the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this island was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else.
Vixe, todo
The
mundo se
council is
cagando.
dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt.
Vixe.
We have had enough of false flattery.
Eu não sei qual que ele que vai querer.
Suffered their insolence for far too long.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine.
monástico.
And we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years ago. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities, and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously.
Caramba, muito tenso isso.
Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Margaret.
Está muito
And
tenso.
to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
Caraca, tá muito tenso. É um clima totalmente diferente aquela reunião dessa.
We need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the consul was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Rabosch. Odorin won't give you any more trouble.
Nossa, tá todo mundo lá.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Odorin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosch will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No, we shall have white. We have had enough of red.
Ok.
Bosch falls. Others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
On all too. And I have some suggestions.
It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
To bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary.
É apontar aquela ali pra.
Quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's
Mal
been
menos.
enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
A vitória.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
Naquela noite na fortaleza de Rabash. Pior que o Otto tá indo aí. O banquete, missão iniciada. Você tá me zoando que ele já tá desse jeito já.
Tempora mutantur et nos mutamur inis. I bet you made it all up anyway. I will just call you Bravo.
Excuse-moi. I thought the French court...
Mano, o que eu tenho que fazer aqui? Comemore com os convidados opcional. Tá bom.
How would you like a wine, Chevalier?
The art of winemaking has a long tradition in La Belle France. Recipes are passed on from father to son, and each generation brings them to perfection. I myself was practically raised on wine. How many I have tasted. Even the French royal court took note of my refined taste. The king himself had wine delivered for his table according to my advice.
I expect his lordship had the best barrels rolled out. Now, if you'd only known he had a real connoisseur here.
Best barrels? Mon ami, this wine would perhaps be suited to the infirmary, where it would suffice for cleaning wounds and easing pain. For that, the taste is of little consequence.
Baron Vaku Voku.
Meu Deus.
We didn't end up like over there.
O Gordon só tá perdendo reputação. Eu, hein? Vai falar com o Lichtenstein. Ah, eu acho que é melhor falar logo com o Lichtenstein. Pra eu conseguir encontrar ele. Do que ficar perdendo mais reputação ainda. Caraca, tá todo mundo muito louco. Como é... Mano, o cara tá vindo aqui.
You in need of something, my well-oiled friend.
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. As they say, all's well that ends well. So, to brighter tomorrows.
Touching.
Come now. What's become of your poetic soul?
I never had one.
Truly? Not even a little?
Well, maybe once. The older I get, the worse it is. Give me a few more years and I'll become a professional mourner.
See now. I'll gladly drink to that with you. Only there's nothing to drink. We've run dry.
Meu Deus.
I've got a tongue like a slice of weak old bread after all that gabbing.
Well, get something wet for us then.
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs, he can't make it as far as the keg.
To hell with that keg slop. Your father surely has something better stored away. I had my eye on him all evening. He had pictures brought from somewhere for himself and his closest friends, and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find one of those pictures for us, eh? I'm sure you can manage that.
You can bet on it. I've got a nose for booze.
I don't doubt it. Get sniffing quick.
Mais vinho? Meu Deus, onde tem vinho? Eu tô procurando há 1000 anos aqui já. Opa, não.
The red'll be good, I hope.
Ah, tem mais aqui. Gente, não aguento mais esse vinho vermelho, vinho branco. Pra mim...
There's a piece of horse flesh for you, Rudard. Not like that nag of yours.
Eles estão muito bêbados.
It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of the fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. Wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to the celebration, you old fox.
Não, não abre.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
A cara do outro, que ele não tá acreditando. Nem eu tô acreditando. Vocês estão me zoando. Ah, vocês estão zoando com a minha...
Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
Seize the nobles! Kill the rest!
Meu Deus.
Holy shit!
Jesus! They surrounded Christopher. He can't make it on his own.
Oops. Meu Deus. Que confusão. E o R tentando chegar. Nossa. Se ele não tivesse servido o Sigsmund. Se ele não tivesse servido o Sigsmund, ele teria chegado a tempo pra avisar. Só que eu não posso trocar de... Ah, você tá me zoando que eu não posso... Ah, eu posso me equipar. É claro que eu posso me equipar. Pelo menos a arma eu consigo pegar. Mas é armadura. Você tá me zoando. Vai ter que ser assim mesmo. Caraca, não deixa nem eu sair do cavalo, seu corno. Pô, o jogo também é foda, viu? Caraca, eu não posso trocar de traje em combate. Pera aí, mas eu posso me equipar. Eu posso me equipar agora. Então vamos lá. Calma. Meu Deus. Pera aí. Ah, você tá me zoando. Pô, o jogo é desgraçado. Pelo menos eu posso usar os itens de cura. Vamos lá. Vai.
Show what you... That's it! That's it! He's done! Hello! You got him!
You're done here, horse.
Sei lá, eu saio batendo. Meu Deus, que desastre.
That was a close shave.
A little too close. Oh, fuck me. Did my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin!
How did you get...
Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone alright?
Well, some are, some aren't.
They captured Odorin, Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Kunrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hanush?
They left with Yobs long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but not everyone was so lucky.
What happened, Godwin? Who died?
Anna of Waldstein. She didn't stand a chance against those butchers. May she rest in peace.
She was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And they almost killed my brother. But only almost. Good work.
What do you mean, almost? What happened?
I got there in time to help him, fortunately. Christopher tried to defend our father, but nearly lost his life doing it. For nothing.
Old grievances aside, Odorin is an ally, the same as Rutard and Botchek.
Oh, they all have their quirks. Cousin Botchek's a money-grabbing magpie. But I won't give up on the fucker either. We'll have to wait for the other side's move anyway. We don't even know where von Berghout took them.
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you, but von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming.
He wanted Odorin. He probably had no idea they'd find most of Sigismund's enemies here in one place.
I bet he couldn't believe his fucking luck.
And Sigismund will be moving at a gallop. We have to be really careful now. One wrong move, and he'll hang the lords.
Is there anything we can do?
Definitely not right now. We'll treat the wounded, bury the dead, and get the hell out of here. Then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait for Jobst and his army.
If I survive the journey... Oh, God's teeth. That stupid nag nearly broke me in half.
Vai ter que ir, né?
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to ransack the Jewish quarter. That is, he ordered it, more like.
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there. They could reveal a lot.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall. At least he's safe here.
They're our allies. We have to help them.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing. I can just see them all jumping to their feet and rush to save their poor Jews. Maybe Samuel will figure something out. He wanted to talk to you anyway.
He's here too?
Aye, escorting the rabbi. You should go and see them as soon as possible. And tell Liechtenstein too.
Anyway, we've got work to do. Godwin?
Give me a moment. I'll go and see Christopher first. Guard the walls
Caramba, que
until morning.
doideira.
If anyone shows up,
Oi.
Good to see you both. Alive.
Oh, come on. You know I've walked out of much worse scrapes laughing.
They could well have killed us all. If it hadn't been for you, Henry, von Berkhoff could have caused a lot more harm.
Von Aulitz surprised even Sigismund with that. You should have seen the look on the king's face when he told him.
Well, thank God we all survived.
Well, not all of us. They killed Lady Anna of Volstein and many other nobles. It was slaughter.
And they captured our closest and most influential allies. Without them, we can hardly get the burghers on our side. We're stuck.
We'll figure out a way to help them.
But how? Our plans are ruined.
Get a grip. Whining doesn't help anyone.
You're right. When I drink too much wine, I get overwhelmed with self-pity. Nevertheless, I have to admit it can't get much worse.
Actually, it might. And very soon. At Sigismund's council, an order was given to ransack the Jewish quarter.
God's wounds! We need to get back to the city and warn them.
I'm going with you.
Out
No.
of the question. Do you want to end up imprisoned again? You'll be more useful if you stay here and help Shishka. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready to travel. I'll try to get someone else to join.
Eu não quero fazer mais nenhuma missão que eu tenha que resgatar o Hans de novo. Sua prisão. Quem é esse tal de Brabant?
What happened when von Berghoff hauled you off after the Nabokov
dá pra falar
battle?
com ele
It was a dreadful journey. Jesus, don't even remind me. It was a bit better in Malashov. Apart from being locked up, of course.
Did anything happen along the way?
No, but it took ages to get to Malashov. 4 or 5 days in that god-awful cart. I was traveling with von Owlet's minions. They hauled me in one of the wagons. They treated my wounds a bit, but I was still in a really bad way. After that battle and all.
What did they do with you in Malashov?
Nothing much, actually. They took care of my wounds, and then stuck me in a room with Brabant. But they treated me decently, as befits a noble. Von Berghoff came asking questions a couple of times, but that was about it. Only I almost went mad from being cramped in that damned room. It's a good thing you got me out of there.
Well, what was the problem with the room?
That I couldn't get out of there. You saw yourself when you came for me, didn't you? I was... It's just that since Nabokov, when they shot the tower right down on my head and I was stuck there. Well, since then, I don't feel well in cramped spaces. Actually, I never did. I always preferred to be outdoors. But since Nabokov, it's worse than ever. I had a feeling the roof would fall on my head again and I'd be buried alive.
I understand. It's a bit awkward for you that the nobility lives in castles.
That's a fact. Once I get my hands on my estates, I'll build a new castle that only has huge rooms and lots of spacious courtyards. And above all, no secret passages.
Great. I'm really looking forward to this new castle of yours.
You can be the castellan or something. Don't worry, I won't forget you. I'll even have a forge built so you feel right at home.
They didn't let you out at all. But you were in that room for ages.
No. They let us walk around the fortress a bit. We even went out for a ride twice, but they watched us like hawks. Not a chance of escape. But most of the time we were in that room. Like I say, I'm really glad you got me out of that hole.
What did von Berghoff want from you?
Just the usual courtesies. The captivity of nobles has to observe certain formalities, you know? It's not like they can just throw you in some hole. They behaved fairly respectfully, but of course he was fishing for information. About Radzig and Hanush, and especially Jobst. What they're planning, how many men they have on the field, who else they're negotiating with and that.
And what did you tell him?
Nothing that he didn't already know. I played as dumb as the village idiot. I only told him they sent us with that message and discussed the rest when we were gone.
And did he swallow it?
I think he suspected I was bluffing a bit. And then he tried to loosen my tongue by letting me go hungry for a while. But he soon gave up when he saw he was getting nothing more from me.
My word. Nice work keeping him at bay. But the main thing is, you're alive and kicking. And back with us.
Indeed.
What do you make of this Brabant fellow?
He's unquestionably a remarkable knight, that Vakalin. He rambles on a lot, though. My head nearly bursts listening to him sometimes. Although it was better than being stuck there alone. Otherwise, he seems to me like a bold and worldly gentleman, if a little obsessed with wealth.
I agree. He seems quite likable. And he's got a score to settle with Sigismund, like we do.
He certainly has.
É, mas eu não vou muito com a cara dele, não. Entendeu? Não vou muito com a cara dele, não. Ai, peraí. Vamos lá, vamos lá, vamos lá. Antes que dê merda. Mais merda ainda. Misericórdia.
What have we gained?
Sam, I need to have a word with you.
Uh-huh. That makes two of us.
Just tell him. You may not get another chance.
Meu Deus, casos de família bem agora.
He said you know each other?
What did you talk about? Me?
We talked about your stepfather, Martin.
Why? Neither of you knew him.
It's true, I did not. But I tried many times. Remember how I stared at your sword when we first met? I recognized the master's symbol engraved there. Well,
ele reconheceu a espada
the
sim.
thing is, I am Martin's son.
What? Pa's son? How the...
Yes, his son. That is, his bastard son.
Why are you even telling me this?
I thought you would want to know. Martin was raising you instead of being with Mother. And me.
I know what it's like. My real father rejected me too. I learnt the truth only after Pa's death.
You know, all my life, I thought if I did not give a shit about that man, it would be easier. But now that I know I will never see him, it troubles me that I did not get to know him.
I can tell you about him if you want. But now is not the right time.
É no momento agora para casos de
We
família.
have to go to Kuttenberg, now. Sigismund ordered confiscation of the property of people in the Jewish quarter.
The king has approved Xere.
He's no king to me. He's a fucking whoreson.
What's a Gezerah?
That is hard to explain.
Nonsense. It is as clear as day. Christians set out to kill our people. Innocent and often defenseless. Ransack their houses and divide the loot. And all that with the king's blessing.
This is what we were afraid of. But we did not expect Sigismund to be in such a hurry. We need to get back into the city and get the people out, quick, before it begins. Will you come with us, Henry? Every man counts.
I'll come. And Liechtenstein already knows about it too.
Very well. We should get going right away.
Let's not waste time.
Êxodo, missão principal iniciada.
All right. On the way here, I saw Sigismund horsemen and feared the worst.
É, você chegou atrasado pra bebedeira.
What brings you here?
Well, I heard you were having some kind of a feast here, so I came to grab a bit of meat. And I see, instead of that, you have a massacre here.
Well, the real massacre is yet to come if we don't do something fast. We have to get to Kuttenberg. Can we borrow the wagon you arrived on?
But of course, I borrowed it too, if you know what I mean, but,
Could you stop blabbering already? We don't have the time.
Esse é dos meus. Cala a boca e vamos lá.
And you, sir, if you can, come with us and help us.
All right. But could you please tell me what the fuck is going on?
I'll explain to you on the way. Time is running out.
Are you coming too, Sir John?
Of course.
Isso é uma boa ideia, por
Do
acaso?
you think that's a good idea? No offense, sir, but you're no great warrior.
I'm not. But I'm not just going to sit here and wait, either.
All right, then. Let's go.
Vamos. Caraca, por que eu tô com tanta poção assim?
Perish. Can we go any faster?
Settle down, son. If you must keep your tongue busy, then use it to pray.
Would you tell me what the fuck is going on already?
Sigismund ordered an attack on the Jewish quarter. We need to get everyone out of there fast.
Bloody hell. I just got ailed up so nice.
Que dia que você não enche, cara?
That is just great. My mother's life is in the hands of a drunkard.
Don't worry. We'll save your mother.
And everyone else too. Don't forget that.
You seem to care an awful lot about these people, sir.
Are you surprised? It's all my fault. If they weren't helping me...
That droid of Sigismund, may his name be erased, would have found some other excuse to get rid of us.
Look, it's not that I don't feel sorry for you, but don't you think maybe we could make the horses go a little faster?
É, porque nessa velocidade...
We won't make it there in a week.
Vamos mais rápido.
We really should pick up the pace.
All right. Schnell! Schnell!
Vai, meu filho, acelera isso. Acelera essa carruagem. Isso. Pronto. Virou uma Ferrari. Vai. Caraca, virou mesmo. Tem que atravessar o mapa inteiro pra chegar até lá.
What's the matter? Why are we stopping?
We will walk from here. We cannot drive right into those murderers' arms.
But how do we get into the town then?
We will go through Sheol.
There are many abandoned mine shafts under the town. One of them ends here.
Won't it collapse on our heads?
We'll find out soon enough.
Follow me.
What a blessing it is to have the best way.
I would be happier.
Só vamos lá, só vamos seguir. É, nessa velocidade vai todo mundo muito bem. Obrigado.
You killed our savior.
What did you just say?
Nothing. I'm just blabbering.
I dare you to say that again. Loud and clear.
You know what, sir? Just ignore me and be glad I'm here. And you up front, pick it up, little kurva. My arse is getting numb.
É, falou merda no momento que não devia. Nossa, por que eu tô com tanta poção assim? Rodando. Uma é da Artemícia, a outra é do cravo. As duas eu não lembro agora do que é.
So, do you hear anyone?
They managed to get all the way here. It is all over.
I think I must have just imagined it. Let's keep moving.
Tem que ser rápido. Nessa vontade que vocês estão, vai matar todo mundo lá. Os caras foram muito burros. Em vez de ficar aí lá comemorando, sendo felizes e tudo mais, eles podiam ter ido para outro lugar. Ou ter feito essa reunião num lugar mais discreto. Ah, fizeram a reunião num lugar muito aberto, muita gente, não tiveram um protocolo de segurança, entendeu?
Hopefully we'll find it quickly. I left a stack of my papers in the tavern. And if they fall into Sigismund's hands, people in other towns will die too.
How can a few pieces of parchment be that important? And what do they contain, anyway?
Nothing very pleasant for the most part. Who hates who? Who could be blackmailed with what? Who's hiding where and why?
Meu Deus.
In short, Nothing I can afford to lose.
E
Hopefully
você
everything
deixa
will be all
nesse
right at
lugar.
the tavern. My stash is locked away, and Samuel's friends are guarding the place. But who knows what the situation is like in the streets now?
Are you afraid?
Me? Do you have any idea how many times I've had to run from a burning town or deal with a hired assassin?
More than once, I reckon.
A lot more, I can tell you. But I admit, I was afraid every single time. Damn it.
What's the matter?
The door leading up to the tavern is open. Samuel's men wouldn't have left it like this. Somebody else must have got in.
I think there's someone walking up there.
Go and check it out. If they took anything down here, they mustn't get out alive. I'll gather up my things in the meantime. I'll meet you outside the tavern.
Tá. Vasculha a estalagem. Vixe. Tem um morto. Ô caramba, pega essa espada logo. Caramba.
I can't leave now.
Search the whole place. Bring any important looking
You want to try me?
Caraca, eles mataram muita gente.
Baruch Hashem, Henry. You're all right.
Sam, you're back already? How does it look outside?
A few of the cutthroats got in over the walls, but we dealt with them. But there are more outside the gate.
4 of them were here in the tavern too.
Fortunately, they didn't take anything important. But your friends paid for it with their lives.
What?
I'm so sorry.
Morreu todo mundo.
If it's any consolation, Henry here has already taken care of those cutthroats.
But they didn't look like they just came to the tavern by chance. Eric must have sent them. What about your mother? Is she all right?
She is, thank God. I told her to get ready, and we would come for her right away.
I'm really sorry about your friends. We got here too late.
There was nothing you could do. Benavis Hamardes. This Eric is really pissing me off.
Não só você.
I've never laid eyes on him, yet I cannot wait to wring his neck.
There'll be plenty of time for that later. We have to go now.
I'm sure Mama is waiting for us. We have to take her to the shul.
You go ahead. I'll lock the tavern and block the secret passageway so no one else can get in.
But sir, if any more of them come here,
I can take care of myself. Now go. God be with you.
Henry, my ma is waiting for us.
Tá. Pera, onde que tá? Moça.
Himmel! What's the matter? Where's Sam?
Don't worry, ma'am. He sent me to take you to him.
Mein Gott! What happened to him?
Nothing. He's out on the street helping the wounded. Let's go now. We're out of time.
Wait! Who are you anyway?
My name is Henry. I'm, Do you remember Martin, the blacksmith?
Of course I do.
I'm his... son.
Was sagst du?
Sam told me that...
Watch out! More are coming! Run to the back, it might be safer there!
What's going on?
Sam, are you all right?
I'm fine, but we will talk when you are safe. Now run!
We have to get to the synagogue. But how?
Through the backyard. Follow me.
Vai, minha filha. Vai, que eu vou te seguir.
Watch out! They're shooting at us! From the ramparts! Get rid of them!
Meu Deus. Eu preciso de... como fala? Droga. Peraí.
You know much for us, fucker.
Ué, onde é que ela foi?
That is you, didn't live!
Droga, o pior é que eu acabei acertando alguém que não era pra eu ter acertado. Meu Deus, onde é que ela tá?
We cannot get past the wagon. We have to go this way. Through the house.
Help me with him! At him! He's got no chance alone! Was glotzt du? Mummy, are you all right?
I'm fine.
Caraca, que confusão.
You, mein Kind.
I'm still alive. We can talk later. Now we have to go.
Uhum. Meu Deus.
Kick them all down!
Come on!
What the hell?
What is it, fuckers? You'd rather slaughter women and the defenseless?
Let's go! What's going on up there?
Meu Deus.
No! Hey, come on!
Isso mesmo.
Go inside. Quick. The fucking task.
I've never been so glad to see you two.
In need of a helping hand, are you?
No, I just don't want to die here alone.
Eita preula.
There they are. Well, now we're really fucked.
We mustn't get inside. We have to hold them back.
For how long, though?
As long as we need to.
Putz.
Let me through, damn it! I'll do it myself!
Useless! Do it!
Quem é o desgraçado?
Fucking die, Corva!
Meu Deus, olha pro lado.
Fucking wholesome! Bad lad! Yeah! Good!
Show what you're made of! Yeah!
Quem é que tá me atacando?
I'll throw your butt into space!
Come on!
Ah, deu
Everyone's
tempo.
inside!
Caraca, tem muito.
Henry, come on! Let's go!
Por pouco.
Got more men. Let's go. It's this way.
Graças à burrice do pessoal, muitos lords foram sequestrados. E por pouco a tragédia não foi pior no bairro judeu. A gente conseguiu ir lá, tirar boa parte do pessoal. Infelizmente um ou outro não conseguiu sair. Foi por pouco mesmo, mas agora é respirar, se acalmar um pouco e pensar no que fazer. Porque agora a gente vai ter que fazer uma jogada muito boa para recuperar esses lords. E é claro, dá um jeito em Vombergol, só que só no próximo episódio. Eu espero vocês lá. Então se gostaram, deixa aquele joinha que é só clicar, coloca um comentário falando o que você achou, compartilha com os amigos que é muito importante. Se não for inscrito no canal, já aproveita, se inscreve e ativa o sininho para receber notificação dos próximos vídeos. Muito obrigado e até o próximo.